So today I'm just going to be talking about listing presentations in Moxie. Give me a second. Hi, Jason. Thanks for joining us. I know a few of you. I haven't met Trish in person yet, but Trish, I am a field marketing specialist in the Sac Tahoe region. I am in Auburn today presenting. And we'll just get going. So if you just
I'm
stay
in
muted.
Auburn too. I think you're in the back office.
Oh, awesome. Well, I'll come out and meet you after class. Hi, Amy. So if you'll just stay muted for the presentation, just to keep background noise to a minimum. If you do have a question, feel free to come off mute and ask me. Usually there's not many people on classes, so it's not a huge deal. Or you can put your question in the chat field and we'll just get to it later. And I am recording, so you do have access to this later on if you so wish to review it again. So what's the point of Moxie and having a listing presentation? It's to win the listing. So Moxie is a very easy tool, but there are a lot of steps to it because listing presentations can be kind of complex on their own. And the point is when you're going to spend all this time and energy creating the presentation, it's just to help you win the listing and be competitive against other agents you may be going up against. We all know that listings are hard to come by these days, so you just want to put your best foot forward and be able to speak on all of the pieces you have to offer in the local area. So you're going to wow them with your tailored marketing approach where you do all these great marketing things that maybe some other people are not doing. Especially if you're using Listing Concierge, you know, you're going to put their property on TV and in magazines, and you're going to have these really great printed pieces and brochures for them. And it just helps you portray that to your potential client. It's also an opportunity for you to relate your value proposition of what you bring to the table beyond the marketing and knowledge of the local market. So whether it's bringing in the Real Vitalize program and highlighting that, or talking about the CBx buyer locator, we all know we have sellers know buyers are coming from the Bay Area. So you can kind of speak on that with the CBx tool, or we can just add in custom pages with your testimonials from past clients. It's just what makes you unique and sets you apart from your competition. We can build that all into your listing presentation. And then you also want it to be clean and organized and easy to read. And whether you are sending it via online so they can scroll through, or if you are going to have printed books, I might have to take my, hold on one second, take my background off so you can see it. I have a couple of examples of what you can do with your presentation. So if you want to go just real basic, we have these folders that are spiral bound. We can print them out for you on really pretty, nice presentation paper and bind them for you in the office. You just let your sales support administrator know you want that done. Or we have these great hardbound books. There's different colors. There's white with the Coldwell Banker logo. If you are doing a global luxury presentation, there's really nice black ones with the global luxury logo on it. So just specify what you would like your sales support administrator to bind your presentation in when you send it over to them. Let me put my cool office back to get going. Okay. So I've added a couple of tips and tricks in here to consider before you go on your listing appointment. So you always want to make sure you are preparing for objections, right? You don't want to just assume that clients are going to take everything you say and have a smile on their face. They might be a difficult client and they might try and kind of counter what it is that you're saying. So you want to make sure that you have objection handling down. And lucky for us, there are plenty of classes about objection handling on Sales Pro, or if you're doing any of the AMPed or boot camp, stuff like that. So just keep an eye out for those. And then make sure you're leaving time for questions at the end. If you've prepared a super long speech, they're probably going to doze off at some point in those in that time. So you want to make sure you're leaving time for them to circle back around and ask questions. And then make sure you're listening to them as well, rather than just presenting. So you want to practice your pitch multiple times. It's really great to be well rehearsed because you'll know what page comes next in your presentation. You'll know your talking points that you want to use rather than having to fumble and say, what is this page here? Let me see. So I highly recommend getting it all set up and practicing. And some of the easier things to consider are always dress like you've already won the listing. You want to dress for success. And then just be aware of your body language. If you're nervous or tense, that's going to come across to your client. That might make them feel uncomfortable and they may leave kind of having a weird feeling about it. So just be aware of your body language as you go. And that is also where practice comes into play. And then finish your pitch, even if you don't think it's working. Maybe you're getting some weird vibes, some weird body language. They're just not taking in what you're saying. Just kind of swallow that down and finish your pitch, wrap it up, have time for the questions. And you never know, they might just be having a weird off day and they are actually taking in what you're saying and they are going to choose you. Some great ways to practice are you can book time with your field marketing specialist, if that's me or somebody else. You can also book time with your manager and just practice your pitch. That way we can give you feedback and you can get the practice time that you need. I'm going to jump into a live demo next. So we're just going to go over where to find your profile and your account access. I suggest giving access to your account to both your field marketing specialist and your sales support administrator. That helps when you need your packages binded or anything like that. We'll go over a seller's template, how to create the templates and how to add your property and do the comps. And then we'll jump into all the pages that are offered for you. And then we'll just touch on creating custom pages. And then if you have questions at the end. So let me share my screen a different way now. So Moxie is located in my CB desk. It is a tile called CBx plus Moxi Present. Pretty soon we're going to be switching over our CRM and website and marketing center all to Moxie. So we will have one tile that everything will be housed in. So we will announce that as that happens. But for now, you will just use the Moxie Present tile. Once you open it, it comes to your dashboard. I am proxying as Andrea Lembeck. She is the manager for El Dorado Hills. She's gracious enough to let me use her account. So I am signed in as Andrea. To get to your account's profile, you would just click on your picture up here in the right-hand corner and click on My Accounts. This is going to take you to where you need to be to update your name or your title. You just move across the tabs up here. So if you get a new email address or phone number, you'll want to make sure to update it here. And then web info is where you can upload she doesn't have one. So you would do the little pencil. You can add in your bio here. And then on one of the pages, I believe it's called Agent Profile, it pulls all this information in and will showcase your profile. So here you can do your website, all your social media links, and then it tells you the last time you updated it. You just click save. I didn't change anything, but okay. Since she is an manager, I can't gain access to her account to show you how to add access. So if you get an email talking about please give access to somebody, that's what we're doing. We're just requesting access to be able to jump into your account and help you out. So from here on your dashboard to get started, all you do is create new up here in the right-hand corner. That's going to bring up all the presentation types that we have available to us. Today, we're going to talk about sellers. So we're just going to click seller profiles. And then as Coldwell Banker Brokerage, they give you options for templates. So you would just click down. You would want to make sure you're choosing the Sac Tahoe if you are in Sac Tahoe or whatever district you're in. Just make sure you're choosing that presentation that will have the correct numbers and demographics for that area. This one is a pre-listing presentation. If you want to see what is included, you can click pages and it will give you a breakdown of all of the pages that are included. This one has 16 pages. Moving down, the large seller presentation has 61 pages. And then there are listing concierge only pages for your 12-minute listing presentations. So you get to choose which one you want to focus on. I am going to choose the 61 page for today so we can dwindle it down and decide what is best for us. So Moxie sellers, you can name it as the address that you're creating it for or the client you're creating it for, however you want to customize your listings. So we will just say if you have a different MLS source, you can choose them here. Most of our people are only MetroList, so that is the only option. Since this is a large, beautiful page presentation building program, it does take its time. Sometimes you just have to wait for the little circle to appear. Okay, so getting started, I'm going to use my own home today for this one. So cool thing, you are connected to MetroList through this platform. If it is giving you an error message, reach out to me or your sales support administrator. We'll make sure everything's correct on the back end. But you can pull in MLS data from listings from the previous 3 years, I believe. So if the home you're going to meet with the seller on has been on the market in the last few years, you can import the data from MLS. So mine has been, so we're going to take the number here and you just say copy and it's going to give you options. So that was the one on Gladstone. So it's going to import all the information from MLS, alleviating you having to enter it by hand, which is really awesome. I just like to say down here on the bottom on the remarks, probably don't use the remarks that are already in there. Those are from the previous agent. So create your own remarks or just remove them out of there. You can take out the list price and all of that because it is off market currently. Okay, so moving along, you just click continue and it's going to pull up the map of all of the comparables in the area for you. So simply tap a listing to include it in your presentation. And then if you decide you don't want to include it, you can tap it again and take it out. So you can come through here and compare the information against the listing that you are taking. So, you know, you just come down and add. I'm not going to really do a comp, but I'll just select some properties here. You can also zoom out on the map and it will add more listings to your comp. So if you feel like you don't have enough to choose from, go ahead and make your map, is that smaller or bigger? I don't know. Do the zoom out option and it will add more availability for you to choose. You can also set filters. So if you want to just be real specific, you don't want to weed through all of the listings that it's giving you, you can come in here under filters and start filling out all the information you only want it to pull. Once you have your selections made, click continue. And it's going to lay out the listings you have chosen. It's going to tell you a summary over here on the right-hand side. If you have a listing that you want to include that you that is not on MLS or that is not pulling in, you can click this Add Custom Listing button here and you can enter the information by hand. That's really cool for those off-market listings that you want to include on your comps. So you can come down through here and see all the information. You can decide if you want to add or remove. Oh, great. Any of your listings, you can add or remove. You can remove all and start over again. You can replace with a custom listing. You have lots of options within your comparables here. I'm not an agent. I don't know how many listings you usually choose to compare. I probably chose too many. Okay, the next page is pretty cool. So it's an estimate page. Some people are kind of weary about estimating for their listings. You don't have to include this page if you don't want to, but if you decide you want to include it, it gives you some pricing stats here based on your comparables. Over here is your listing summary, so you can kind of decide if you want to include a range. So, maybe you would tell your client, 600 to 650 is probably what we're going to get for this house. And that might give them a little more flexibility. If you give them one price, some people aren't very happy about hearing one price, especially in this market. Okay, so then when you click continue, you've now landed on the pages tab up here, and you can move back and forth in these all you want. It's not a big deal to move back and forth. It saves as you go. You don't have to click save anywhere. Just keep clicking. So right now we're viewing in a web view. I'm going to change it right up here on the right-hand corner to print view. And this will show how it is actually going to print for you. All of the pages are here on the left-hand side. If you decide you don't want to cover, you can go ahead and remove it, or you can click this little pencil here and you can edit. So you can add a cover title. You can decide if you want to show who it was prepared for, if you want your name and info to show, if you want the cover photo to show, if you want a different image to show, you can upload it here. If you don't want the address or the date, this is a big one here, this date. If you make this on a weekend and you're not meeting with your potential client until midweek the next week, you can create a custom date here so that it looks like you printed it on the date that you're meeting them. You also can change what your design cover is. So right now it's set on Rainier. You would just click change and you could pick any number of these designs. So let's choose Denny instead. Like I said before, there's not a save button, so you just click the X and any changes that you made will automatically happen. And then it will say, "I'll snap." But it saved for me, so I'm not worried about it. Just reload it. Okay. So as you can see, the cover page changed here. We now have a colored photo of my front yard. Then you can just start clicking down through the pages. So do you want your agent profile right up here in the beginning, or do you want it more at the end? You can decide and just click and drag it where you want it. If you don't want an agent profile at all, or if you have created a custom piece talking about yourself that you would rather upload, you can just remove this piece and we can add in a page later on. If she had a bio, it would be here on this page. One thing that I didn't know at first, but I do now, if something is more than one page, it is only going to show you the first page on this page here. So if there are 3 pages to your bio, it's only going to show you the first page. So that's that tripped me up at first. Okay, so Coldwell Banker has created a ton of awesome pieces for you to speak on at your meetings. You can click through these and decide if it is something you want to include. Do you want to talk about how we're doing service in a virtual world, or do you think it doesn't really matter now? If you don't think it matters, you can go ahead and remove it. It's going to remove from your whole presentation. I suggest just taking some time going through each of these pages, deciding what matters to you to portray to your client. So you just start clicking through. Some of them, we're going to get down to it, are dividers. So This proven success is actually just a divider for the next portion. If you don't want dividers, go ahead and take it out. Some offices also have these dividers as really heavy cardstock. So just ask your sales support administrator if you want them divided by cardstock. As you see, there's 3 different strength and numbers here. You just have options on the image that it shows. The numbers are the same. You just get to choose what image you want. So do you want to show more rural farmland? Are you doing something downtown? Maybe you want to show the Capitol, or your other option is a cityscape of Sacramento. So you have a couple of options there. These pieces are updated yearly, I believe. Once you have your piece in place, it will be updated automatically. So once these numbers change, on the back end, Coldwell Banker is going to change them. It will update into your presentation for you. You don't have to worry about all your stuff being out of whack. So number 1 in Sacramento in 1 million plus sales. That's really awesome. As you can see, we're pretty far over Remax, which is really cool. So that's something to speak on. If you're in the Tahoe area, you can leave this one in. Well, most of you are not in the Tahoe area, so you might want to take that one out. This just goes over our local reach. If you don't really care to talk about that, you can take that out. The next one is giving back. These are just some of the community outreach projects that we do. If you want to speak on that, it's got a cute little picture of a puppy here. Responsible business. This goes on and on. So like I said, you're going to want to sit down with either a nice cup of coffee or your field marketing specialist, or even your sales support administrator can help you with this. You just want to decide what you want in your presentation. So as you see, it goes down and down and down. Down here under Spotlight Marketing, this is going to talk about our listing concierge packages. I suggest choosing one to highlight. Maybe don't have all 4. If you are going to majorly be doing the silver package, maybe just keep that one in, or the gold package, do that one. It's just kind of repetitive in your presentation if you have all of them in there. Going down at the bottom is where your CMA information is going to land. If you would rather have that at the beginning, you can pull that up to the top, or some people don't like to have it in their presentation at all and like to have it separate. That way you can leave your marketing stuff for your potential client if they don't sign with you right away, and you don't have to leave them with your hard worked comparable for them. If they do sign with you, go ahead and leave it. If not, it's up to you. Once you have everything how you want it, there's this nifty little button at the very bottom. They've kind of hid it from us, but it is Save as Template. So the cool thing is you only have to sit down and custom tailor this to yourself, maybe once a year. Just make sure you're making sure you have all of your information in there, but you don't have to do this with every single listing appointment. Do it once, make sure you say Save as Template, and then just put in like 2022 listing packet. We'll click Save. That way, next time you come in to make a presentation, when you go to Create New, up here at the top, and you select your seller, instead of choosing a broker template, you can choose My Templates, and you'll see that 2022 listing packet. That way, it's just there for you. You can do a CMA 10, 15 minutes, depending on how many comps you can find. It's not going to take you a long time to put together your listing packet. So I highly recommend scheduling some time to sit down and put all those pages into place, get them how you want them, save it as a template, you're good to go. One other thing before we go, to add custom pages say you deleted a page and you're like, ugh, I didn't want to do that. I want it back. All you have to do is say add page. You can add from the library. And under brokerage pages, you're going to find a ton of pages. So Andrea has a lot more than you probably will, just since she's a manager. But you can find all of the seller pages that are universal through Coldwell Banker. There are, down here, we have the NorCal pages. So anything with those specific Sac Tahoe numbers are going to be here. Listing concierge package stuff is going to be here. So you can really build that out. There are also global luxury templates. So if you're building out a global luxury or you're global luxury certified, maybe make 2 different listing presentations so that you have both of them ready to go. My favorite part about adding pages is you can create new here, and you have the ability to build a page within Moxie, or you can upload a PDF page. So say you've put together something really nice in Canva, or you've hired design concierge to build something for you. You can upload those pages so easy to your listing presentation. So you would just say choose file, find your PDF. I wonder if I have something, let's see. Say upload, and it's just going to pop those into your presentation for you. I don't know how big that was. Might have been 4 pages. Oh, it's 21 pages. Let's not do that. Never mind on that one, but that's how you would upload a custom page. When you have it all done and you're ready to print it out for your client, you would just select view up here. And you can view it as a PDF or a web version. We'll just check out how our web version looks. So these are really cool if you have an iPad or you take your computer to your listing appointments. You can just go ahead and scroll through. Super easy. It's all interactive. It's really pretty. If there's links, you can click here. It will open your email to email Andrea. Super, super cool. And then, oh, where did I go? Sorry, guys. I can't see my thing here. Here we go. If you open it as a PDF, you're able to save it or print it. This is how you would print in the office or send it to your SSA to have printed. And then if you want to send both to your client, you can send directly from here. I suggest sending both ways just so they have a web version and the PDF version. You would just need to add their email here, a subject line, and then you can go ahead and click send. If you want to just change what the address is, there's different options that. Does anybody have questions so far? I know we just kind of went over quickly, but I suggest.
Zende is into you. Wow.
Okay, guys. So that's my quick overview of our listing presentations. Like I said, it's all custom, so you got to sit down and just kind of make the time to do it. But you can always have some help from me or your SSA. So if nobody has questions, let me check the chat real fast. I don't see any. Going once, going twice on questions. Oh, Amy's typing, so let's see what she's gonna say. Oh, just thank you. You're welcome, Amy, anytime. I look forward to seeing you all soon and have a great day.
Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome. Let me turn off recording here.